So I want to start a dialogue and a video log about mental issues and being a content creator, or just mental issues in general. It doesn't have to be to that effect of one specific area of the internet. So here's some of my issues. Well, first off, hi, I'm Josh Jolly. That is my real last name, and it's spelled like, Jolly as in Jollyriffic, Jolly Ranchers, or whatever else. Although you guys don't know what there's the fucking spelling. I have low self-worth issues. Very low. I have very deep depression. My now fired psychiatrist says that I have bipolar. Bipolar does not mean that you have highs, like happy-go-lucky. It just means that there's a variation within your shit. My depression goes from moderately want to fucking be dead in a literal fucking sense to, oh my god, somebody please put me out of my fucking misery and murder me and you can have all my belongings. That kind of thing. A lot of people joke about dying. I quite literally wish that I weren't alive. That's how the depression goes. Then I've got insomnia, which I can deal with that. Being tired all the time, physically and mentally, I can deal with. It at times makes me grumpy, so I gotta watch out for that. Because I let the anger monster out sometimes when I shouldn't. Or I'll say things because that anger is like just a knot in my stomach, and I say things that don't need to be said because the conversation isn't anywhere in that area, but it's more of a shock value thing. Like, fuck y'all kind of thing. Then I've got anxiety. I can kind of deal with that, but sometimes it scares me. The times that it really scares me is when my ex that I have my 2 kids with takes my kids back away to go back to their moms. She lives in North Carolina. I live in Pennsylvania. Prior to that, she lived in Florida, and the feelings were a lot worse back then when she lived in Florida because it's so fucking far away. Like, a straight shot drive while speeding is around 12 hours car drive. And those would set me off pretty bad. Like, we'd be packing up the van with all the kids' stuff in it, and quite literally, I'd be worried that I was going to have a heart attack because of how hard my heart was pumping through my chest. That's the worst it gets. That's the worst case scenario. And then I get them other times, but... And then the last thing, which is probably the most taxing on me, is racing thoughts and obsessive thoughts. So racing thoughts, your thoughts are just fucking over and over and over again. You can't stop. Think about the combination of those two being like doing leg day every single day, all day. At some point, you're not going to be able to stand up because your legs are just so fucking exhausted. And that's where the mental comes in. You're mentally drained. You don't have the care. You don't have the compassion. You're just like, fuck everything right now. Everyone can die and leave me alone. There's a little kid outside. And that's probably the worst. That whole thought process kind of drops down into like it's like a willow tree. Willow trees have tons of little branches everywhere, or whatever comes off of branches. I would assume they're called branches. And then you got all the leaves and everything else. So you got that one thought that comes up and then just branches fucking everywhere, and it doesn't stop. It's fucking unrelenting. And I tell people when they ask me, how does that feel or what's that like? I say it's like being held hostage to your thoughts. You can't stop the thoughts. You can't control the thoughts. They do what they fucking want. And a lot of times, it's like being your own terrorist, um, locked in your brain. And like I'll think of a conversation that has happened in the past, and it just keeps going and going. Like what I could have said, what I didn't say. Was I aggressive enough? Was I not aggressive enough? What would have happened if I was more aggressive with some conversation that doesn't fucking matter at all in the grand scheme of life, or even in that goddamn moment? Like something about, like building something or the fucking weather. And then the worst part of it all would be when I didn't say something out of line, whatever. And then I think about what if I had, and then how that would have changed things. And then I kind of berate myself about the idea of having that idea, of saying that thing that I didn't say. And then it's just a rabbit hole all the way down, or branches or whatever. It's fucking, it's exhausting. And a lot of times when that happens, that's part of the reason why I stay a lot of times in bed, because I'm just so mentally drained that I can't even decide whether or not I'm thirsty. I can't decide whether or not I'm hungry. I can't decide whether or not I actually want to get out of bed or whatever. And I get lost in thought, like literally lost in thought. Think about being out, like just dropped into a forest, a giant fucking forest, and just being lost. That's exactly what it's like. You can't find your way out of it, and I don't know how to find my way out of it. I'm doing better on this fucking take. I'm at 6 minutes and I got everything I wanted to say out of me. Whew. I think maybe one of the most annoying things about the depression, though, I don't feel like I have anything to be depressed about. Kind of. I should be depressed. The fact that I'm such a fucking worthless bum that is a sponge on my family. They're really good people. I don't have any issue with them. Due to my introvertism, I stay locked in my bedroom all day, every day. If I need to eat, shower, piss or shit, that's about the only times I leave the bedroom. I go do those things and I come right back. And then sometimes I'll even lock my bedroom door because I want to make sure that even though they never come into my bedroom, it's that extra assurance on those really bad days that no one will come in. And here's a really messed up thing. I'm trying to put out this video kind of to be like good for me for talking about it, because saying things out loud helps. And sometimes saying things out loud will make you cry. Like my last recording of this video, I said the thing about having my low self-worth and being a drain on my family and that kind of shit, and got teary-eyed, which would have been great for fucking view count, but now that I've already said it in the past recording, and I'm saying it now, nothing. I'm stone cold. It doesn't affect me as hard. So sometimes you need to be, you always need to be honest with yourself. You need to have open discussions with yourself. I feel like that's step one for recovery. Not recovery, but being better than what you were before. I don't know how to word that, but that's what we're going to go with. Oh my god, I wish I could afford fucking cigarettes. Because rolling these fucking things sucks. They taste like shit, and they don't stay fucking lit. What has been nice, though, is weed became legal here. I wouldn't necessarily say it makes me more active. I would still do the same things I would do not on weed, for the most part. But the thing, like, if I'm going to be in bed all day and depressed, and I roll over, grab some weed, smoke it, whatever I'm doing or watching, I'm going to enjoy more. So I wouldn't say I'm too much more, like, there have been times where I smoked weed. Like, I cleaned this whole shed out while I was high, and that was fucking amazing, because I wouldn't have done it without that fucking weed at all. or the pain pills that I was on. And that's kind of where addiction comes into play. People who are depressed typically also have had or do have addiction problems. And the two things that seem to actually help me personally are like the variants of hydrocodone and shit like that. Hydrocodone, Percocet, Vicodin, those things. Those seem to, it's weird. They're like a euphoria drug, kind of. But then additionally, my back doesn't hurt nearly as much. And I'm able to get shit done. And I'm more apt to help people whenever I'm on those. And then the weed, the weed elevates my mood, so I'm a happier person. Or I'm happier at what I'm doing. So, and that's why you see a lot of people, overdosing and things, is because I kind of believe that addiction is a misrepresented term for self-medicating to feel better. I mean, if you think about it this way, my psychiatrist prescribed me drugs that they helped for a little bit. Only one pill did she ever prescribe me that helped out. I forget the name of it. I'm not even trying to think of the name. First week, nothing. Second and third week, I felt like I was basically on coke and I was just doing everything around the house. And then after that, nothing. Then they doubled the dosage and still nothing. And I'm not sure if the double dosage made me feel annoyed itself, if I was just annoyed because it wasn't doing anything, or a combination of the two, or if maybe, because it all happened around the same time where I told her I wanted to be on less things, and she prescribed more things and then took me off of my sleeping meds. So I wasn't sleeping like I was before. The meds weren't fucking doing what they were supposed to do. I think it was just a giant combination of them all. But I stopped taking those in December, and I'm still having what they call brain zaps. Antidepressants, all they are is anti-seizure medication. But they sometimes have effects of making your mood elevated. And that's why they prescribe them. Because there isn't a pill that gives you euphoria that's prescribed to give euphoria. So, whatever you're going to end up taking is going to be addictive anyways. Because you're going to have it. Or else if you don't have it, you feel worse, or you're going to have brain zaps, or whatever your your withdrawals are going to be. However, with weed, I don't have any withdrawals. I don't have weed now. I wish I did have some, but I'm not in the addictive state where like I would rob my family or some other place for weed. Kind of the same thing with pain pills. I'm not on them right now. I have them in the house. I didn't take a single one today. I probably will whenever I go to stream because, I can be a little moody or snappy when I'm in pain, and I'm in pain now. And I don't want to convey that over to the people who do actually watch my stream. And it also brings down my competitiveness. If you ever watch my stream, there are times where I do get mad. Like, people keep stealing my fucking kills. But for the most part, I don't give a shit. I'm a team fucking player whenever I'm on pain pills. I don't know about weed. I haven't played games really high. I've taken small micro hits of weed because I was running out of it whenever I started streaming again. And I got to the point where I could just barely feel that there was some weed in my system, but not enough to make me anything other than just feel it. Like, my mood levels didn't change or anything. So when it comes down to addiction, it's kind of like, I feel like it's a dirty word. Because I would assume that most people who are addicted to something are just trying to chase a good feeling. I say dirty word because if you're addicted to something and you're robbing people for stuff to be able to get that thing, I consider that addiction, but not technically what abusing drugs would be. Like, I shouldn't be taking my pain pills to feel happy, but I would definitely take them to feel happy if my back didn't hurt as bad as it did, if I had the means to be able to get them and they didn't cost so goddamn much, you know, that kind of thing. We're at 15 minutes and I kind of feel like I've expressed everything that I can think of without making this video too long. So hopefully this kind of gives you an insight that you're not alone. And I would like, if there's other things that you want me to talk about, of your own issues or maybe other issues that I didn't cover that I do have, that would help you out with that. I've seen people, though, you know, that have these issues, and I say just press through, stream, because it's probably going to make you feel better. At the very least, it's going to hopefully get your mind off of things. Get over that hurdle. Push yourself, force yourself. I'm not going to condone you doing drugs in order to be able to do that. I'm not going to tell you to do that either. It's probably bad advice for me to talk about the whole drug situation to begin with. But I'm pretty sure that all of us have been there. We've all tried to self-medicate. And I feel that it was kind of important to watch, you know, bring that into the light and give you kind of what I feel about it. I'm a very logical person when it comes to things, and I don't think saying doing drugs is a great thing, but it's kind of sometimes what I feel like I personally have to do in order to get shit done. Hopefully that doesn't anger too many people. But question, comments, quibbles, queries, let me know. Try not to be a flaming fucking asshole, because if you do, I'll probably let the rage beast get a little bit of fuel under his fire and just rip into you, because I'm known to do that sometimes. If you've got criticisms, though, I'm down to listen to them. If you got valid things you need to get off your chest about what was said in this video, or things, whatever. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'm gonna end it here before I start rambling too much, because that 15 to this 18-minute mark was kind of rambled. I did really well with the first 15 minutes, though. I feel woohoo, way better than the first 900 billion takes. It's only almost dark out now. Anyways, thanks for watching. I've been Jolly from United Streamers, and hope to see you around.